Hi everyone, welcome back to another Window Chats with Robyn, the Instagram Live podcast where I sit by my window and chat with interesting people. And the show where anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Technical difficulties, of course, get excited for that. I also am trying to promote myself better, so this is available on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and also available afterwards in case you're like, Robyn, I wasn't available at the time when you started it. No worries, it's always there. You can see it. Now the question is, does Michael know that we're live? I hope so. Oh, hi, Carrie. Oh, yeah, he's here. Okay. Now we try and invite him in, and here we go. Will it work today? Guys, this is exciting. Uncertainty. Da-da-da. I should do like a Jeopardy theme song, but my own version. This will be for next week. This is my homework. It worked! It never works. Hi.
Hello. What's up, Robyn? How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me. I always struggle with how do I explain how this works. It really depends on everyone's phone and internet connection. But hi.
Yeah. Oh, man. Let me just adjust my
Okay, let's get
thing.
you in the frame. Yeah, your head was cut off. Let's make sure you look okay. Everything's here.
Yeah. You know,
make sure you're
like
happy with your lighting. Make sure we got to get that out of the way.
Right. I'll be honest, I've got like a piece of cardboard here to bounce sunlight onto my face.
Oh, that's so creative. I've accepted that the light hates me. So I try and close the blinds as much as I can. And then I regret choosing my window as the place where I do a podcast. But I've committed to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because it's called Window Chats. Yeah. So it's like, what are you going to do at this point? It's a window chat.
Thank you for understanding. I'm stuck with this window that hates me, but it is what it is, right? This is the life of an actor. We make things work.
Yeah. Self-tapes, though, like I got to say, self-tapes have really given me an appreciation for lighting. Like, yeah, you have to, right?
What did you have, like your specs? Do you have a ring light? Do you do the softbox? What are you feeling?
So for a while I would just use a whole bunch of, large pieces of white cardboard and just try to bounce sunlight at myself from windows. And then I finally got like a little newer light. It's like just a cheap but adjustable light on a stand. Okay. So that has really upped my game. Yeah,
it makes a huge difference. It's like, oh, yeah, my facial expression.
Yeah, wow, we can see my face on camera. That's so good. It's almost like that's what casting wants.
Shocking. So didn't see that coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, definitely like, it's like if there's one thing about self-tapes and the way that the industry has gone that has been kind of positive, it's that I feel like a lot of us actor types, and I'm sure you can talk to this, have had to figure out, how do I rig up some lighting? How do I self-direct? All of these skills that we didn't used to need as much.
But here's the thing, I don't know if you realize this. When you go into do a commercial audition, and it's whatever, it's a one line or it's silent on camera, you go in, you leave, you move on. When I get those auditions now, I have to watch myself doing them, and I have to decide if that looks like a normal human being doing something. Before, I never knew how weird I was. Now I'm visually seeing, oh dear God, Robyn, what are you doing? So that's a struggle for me personally.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Is it?
The self-awareness piece, that sounds great. Self-awareness.
It's a lot of learning.
No, I think that's the thing though, is that like, before it's easy to walk in and go, but now it's like usually for my third self-tape, I watch my third take and I go, oh, I could do this because of that, and I could be looking in that direction because of this. So it's usually like my first 3 takes are just like hashing out the scene, figuring out the choices, and then I get to like takes 4 and 5, and and now it's even harder because now I have to like live in those choices instead of overthinking, trying to look like I'm feeling those things. But I think it's helped me as an actor because now I get to do that process. I don't just walk in and it's done. I do it once. I tweak a few things. I watch myself. I tweak a couple more things. Then we're finally really getting started. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, but I'm so used to self-tape now that when I had my first Zoom audition a couple weeks back, like, wait, only 2 takes? No, those are my warm-ups. Come back! Ah! So that didn't happen.
Guys,
I didn't feel the need to yell that. That seemed unprofessional. But that was my head right there. Like, no, I swear I'm better. Oh God. So that was the learning curve.
To be fair though, that's like every live audition ever. Like,
I know.
Do it again. Okay, see you later. Wait, but
it's usually though maybe the walking into the room where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is when I'm prepping. But I think it was okay. It's on. The camera's on. It's happening versus like, the warm-up, hi, how's it going? It's like, no, okay, let's get the logistics and we're filming. Okay, you look this way. This is your partner looks this way. I'm like, huh, okay, hi.
Yeah.
And then
totally.
Shockingly didn't book it.
Well, yeah, I have yet to book something off of Zoom. I've booked on self-tapes. I've booked in live auditions. I've yet to book off of Zoom. It's like it's the weird middle ground where it's like, it's kind of like a self-tape because you have to figure out your own lighting and framing and eye lines, but you don't get that multiple takes thing. You still have to just blast in.
It's funny though. Can I tell you though? On set, I understand. It's like you get it. You have to get it right away. But for some reason on set, yeah, that makes sense to me. Let's do it. But for the audition, I don't know why I can't have that same mindset. It's just, and I'm trying to do that a lot more now. But before, I don't know why I could never think, okay, in my head, just tell yourself you booked it and then do the audition. Just something, let's switch.
Yeah. I do better at auditioning when I don't care.
Okay, no, you are amazing at auditioning. This is a story I'm sharing with everyone. I met you at an audition. I won't say the project name. But again, first off, you were dressed in character, but not too far to a point where I'm like, is that too far? You're like, no, this is the character. I was not. That was bad on me. Probably should have worn a skirt. I don't own skirts. That's another thing. We don't discuss that here. But you come in, you're like, okay, here is this person. I know them. You're asking questions in the room. Honestly, I thought you guys were best friends during the audition. I'm like, I don't think I should be here. They're having this shared experience. I am in the way. I just should not be. And then I said the dumbest things. You're complimenting people genuinely. I'm just saying random improv that comes to my mind. I think someone said, oh, your name is spelled the best way. And I'm like, is it though? And I started questioning her, like, no, this is another way you could spell Robyn. I'm like, what am I saying? And you're just sitting there. And then like, okay, Robyn, you can leave. Michael, you stay. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That did not go well. You booked it. I was very proud of you because you were super professional asking your questions. And I'm like, I didn't know we should ask questions. That's so smart. It was a good learning. Honestly, I learned so much from you in that audition. I'm like, whoa.
I'm glad.
Did like a slow clap afterwards, but you weren't there to see it. But I gave you a slow clap. So yeah, that was great. You were very impressive.
I love the idea of someone's like, oh wow, you spell your name really nicely. Do I spell my name nicely?
Like,
do you like the Y?
Oh yeah.
How about with an I?
I hope I wasn't that aggressive. Oh
no,
yeah, R-O-B-Y-N. That's how everyone. I'm like, no, they spell it with an I, or sometimes Y and E. I'm just like getting on this random rant because I was so nervous.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I think that's the product of some. I've gotten lucky with some of the classes that I've taken, and some of them have, some of them are about acting, obviously, which is useful, obviously.
That would help, yeah.
Right? Yeah, acting classes are great. But some of them are also just about like presence walking into the room and about like just, being comfortable with yourself. And I think the biggest influencer for me was this idea that, it's like when you do a test, right? And people are like, oh, I have this test to do. And they see the test as the work. The test isn't the work. The work is the studying and the understanding. The test is you go in and you're like, well, I've already done this work, so now I'm just going to show it. Boom, boom, boom. And when you think of tests that way, suddenly tests are so much easier. And I find auditions is the same thing. It's like, if you put in the work before, you figure out, okay, here's this one page of no lines that I have. What is all of the work that I can do to hash out this character? Oh, I see that there's this thing that I don't understand. Okay, now I've got my question that I'm going to ask in the room. oh, I see that there's this thing that I could do either way. Okay, good. I'll add that. I can ask them that so that I look like it. So then, you do all that work beforehand, and then instead of walking in like, oh my God, I have to do this audition, you walk in like, all right, guys, I've put some great shit together for you. I'm really excited to show you. Before I start, I was wondering about one of these. Yeah, you want that one? Great. Okay, let me show you what I've prepared. So, and it's a lot less stressful that way because it's like you've done the work. Now you're just going to go in and throw it down.
I do the work, but then, okay, this is what happened with this audition, all right? It was, I'm not going to say the project, but it was around the Holocaust, okay? And so I remember being told you have to laugh. And for me, the concept of laughing regarding any project with the Holocaust, I understand what the scene was, but I'm like, I'm like, this isn't funny. This is terrifying. I don't agree. But I just couldn't get out of that mindset. I'm like, what am I laughing about? We're all going to die. Like, it was just this weird block when I got that instruction. And it was so interesting. Like, again, I'm thinking, after the fact, yes, I'm aware of what I could have done. But certain instructions that I just could not move past. I'm like, no, this isn't funny. Are you not aware that 6 million Jews died? This is serious.
I almost wish that you had just said that. Like, okay, for this scene, your character is laughing. How can she be laughing? Do you know what this was?
Do you not know that? Yeah, and that's the problem, right? I'm like, okay, professional Robyn versus how dare you, sir? I also think he was Jewish, so I think he knows that, I think a lot of people know, but I just...
Hopefully most people know.
I have not spoken about that audition. Oh my God, since I last saw you. So there you go. That was.
You know what?
Glad we could bring that up. I like to be traumatized by everything.
You know what? I'll be honest. I didn't mess up the audition. I got the role, but I actually messed up the shoot. And
well, see, they should have hired me instead.
Yeah, obviously, you would have made a much better bearded brunette male than I did.
I've been growing it out.
It's yeah. Oh, yeah. Very like
long hair now. Yeah.
No, but like just I got to the end, and like the scene itself went really well, and like it was it was a small role, but like I really brought it. I really had the emotion and the intensity. But then at the end, the director was like, "Okay, we just need some ADR of you screaming like you got shot."
Oh.
And I was like, I was kind of tired, but I was kind of like. Like running on adrenaline and just like caffeine and adrenaline. Jesus, take the wheel. It had been a long day. I was like working on things.
About the Holocaust. Let's mention Jesus. That's good. Okay.
Okay. Ouch. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm gonna correct you because we've got some viewers.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. But then then the director was like, okay, so we need you to be like you're getting shot. And so I did some screaming, and then I went, and in my head, I was getting shot. And in my head, it was like, well, if Michael Masurkevitch gets shot, he's not going to scream. He's already been shot. He's going to internalize the pain and be like, and he was like, okay, that's good. Can you do it with some screaming? And I was like, would you scream if you got shot? Like, I feel like you'd gasp and be in pain. Would you be like scream? And he was like, yeah, I want you to scream. And I just somehow in that state of mind, I couldn't get out of something in my head was like, yeah, but this is what I think the scene should be. And I couldn't shake that. So I kept doing it like I tried to give him a bit more of what he wanted, but it kept being ultimately what I thought it would be like if I got shot. And then I left the room and I heard him doing the screaming. And I was like, wow, the director was so unhappy with my performance. Okay, thank you, Aaron. You're probably right. I don't know. It was just the mindset that I was in. But like, wow, the director was so unhappy with my performance that the director did the ADR for me because I just couldn't get out of what was in my head of what I thought the scene should be. So yeah, I mean, I doubt he'll ever work with me again, and that's a shame. But I mean, it was a learning experience for me because I went, oh, right. So there's, it's like every time it's like the part of you that was like, do you like my name?
You're saying that, and I don't know if I would scream if I got shot either. I think I would scream if I saw someone else getting shot. Definitely. But if I'm shot, I'm already dying. Why am I screaming? I'm dead.
You know, and I mean, maybe I should try taking a bullet and see what happens, but like, you know, I don't even know if it's true that I wouldn't scream when I was getting shot. I just know that on that day, Michael Masurkevitch, in that mindset, didn't think he would scream while getting shot and just couldn't let go of that. And the director's like, okay, now do it with more screaming. And this little part of my brain was just like, yeah, but I think it should be this way. And I just couldn't let that go. And then he did the ADR himself, which just felt terrible. And then I saw that
smile. I just think that's hilarious. I apologize.
It's pretty funny. No, I mean, this is the thing, though, is that, like, you know, everything I know now is, like, you know that thing that you said of your brain being like, you know, that something in your brain was just like, just say something. Just say, is it a good name? Is it? Like, you know, like
I
there was
honestly think I'm I really don't think it was that bad. I think I was just saying there's a lot of ways to spell it. But in my head, that's how I think I sounded. And I remember really stupid things. I legitimately remember you complimented her on her scarf. And I'm like, damn it, that was such a smart thing to say. Yeah, I agree. That's a nice scarf. Like, actor. You seem to like him. Yeah, I'm gonna second that. Is that still, does it feel like I'm trying too hard?
Yeah, trying too hard though.
I would love, again, I want to watch so many of my auditions because they're just the awkwardness that I felt. It's definitely, the camera picks up everything. And I would make a series, that could be a movie. How, no matter what, I prep. I take the classes, I get the coaching, I'm ready, and I go in, and then my brain hates me, and I'm like this, it kicks in, and it won't let me do that audition. It is so painful that I honestly hope someone's laughing. Otherwise, like, I don't know.
You know,
I don't know.
One time I did this audition, and I nailed it, and I could tell that I nailed it, and but I could also tell that there was some tension between the director and the casting director about how long things were taking. I personally had waited an hour for my audition, which is not unstandard, but like you could tell there was some tension between the director and casting. So I nailed this audition, and I'm feeling so good about myself. And then I see the two of them like having this tension, and my brain was just like, you know, Michael, we're a brilliant actor, and you should weigh in on this. So I was like, yeah, guys, you know, I personally, I love getting to play more in the room, so I'm really grateful for this. And, you know, and just like said something douchey and confident and well meant, but then I just saw both of their faces just look at me like, fuck you. Did not get that role. Did not book. Killed the audition. Maybe someone else killed it more, like you can never tell. But I suspect that the reason I didn't book that one was because I said that, and then they were both just like, you are not part of this. So, yeah, I feel right.
I apologize. Again, I like to think that we're just joking around, and we're kind of over it. I'm never over it, but I like
yeah, you know, audition
I'm never over it. Come on, Robyn,
regret.
get better. Why'd you do that? Great, guys.
You know, here's the thing, though, is that, like, so, you know, you probably have this, too. Like, we're in the business of feeling feelings. So we feel things. We feel things very, very, what's up, Michael?
Yeah, we have an actual question. Michael Square. Michael, another Michael. There's a lot of Michaels I know. What are some of the movies you have been in? Yeah, we should let's showcase you more. Thank you, Michael. We're going to switch. We're going to pivot. COVID's all about pivoting. Let's talk about you. There you go.
Well stated. Well stated.
Thank you, sir.
I do want to get back to this, though. But yeah, what have I done? Man, so I did a feature film called Beyond the Veil, which was a fantastic experience. But you know, it's remarkably hard to get something actually watched. So it didn't end up going to festivals. It's now available on YouTube if anyone wants to watch it.
Is it really that hard? Like, did you submit it to festivals, you mean? How is it hard to get it watched?
I mean, there's a lot, and there's, you know, there are just a lot of factors. So, for example, Beyond the Veil is a very long movie.
Is that what?
You know,
that was funny in my head. I apologize. That's like something I would say in the audition room, right? And then not get the role.
Right. That's okay. You're not auditioning. No, yeah, I mean, it pushed me really hard as an actor. The director was really brilliant. It ended up being a lot longer, and then when it was submitted to festivals, it didn't get selected because it was a lot longer, and that sort of impacted the director's belief in the project, and then they were like, well, whatever, I'm just going to put it on YouTube. Well, fair enough. I mean, I worked really, really hard on it. You know, I wish it would.
Can you use for your demo reel? Is there a...
Oh, well, and you know, the other thing is that
Aaron,
I
this is the audition. You don't know this, Michael, but there's a role I'm casting for something that I didn't create.
God, no.
That being said, I did put you in something. I don't know what that was, but anyways.
That was hilarious.
Okay,
that was
in my head, I had this vision of like, I am making a web series. It's going to be amazing. I had no idea what I was doing. I reached out to you, and you, again, being this professional, I'm like, here's my idea. You're like, okay, I'm going to take this idea. I'm going to give you some B-roll footage. You're going to have everything. And you gave it to me under a day. It was amazing. And again, I didn't put you gave me an incredible version that I wasn't sure if I could share because I didn't want to. I wanted it PG, but the PG-13 R version was utterly hilarious. It was just, I was so impressed with you because, again, this is not knocking the people that gave me their footage 2-3 weeks later, but you were just like, this is what it is. I get it. Here you go. It was so funny.
I'm glad. I had a great time.
You were great. I'm like, oh, look at him go. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really, really fun thing to play. I'm going to finish Michael's question. But yeah, Beyond the Veil, it's on YouTube. Just wrapped a feature called Snowblind. It's on IMDb. There's a couple teasers. It took us 3 years to finish filming it. I spent most of this past winter running naked, covered in fake blood through the snow, which was very cold. Funny story, at one point, you know, we're in the final pivotal scene, and I am just covered in fake blood and absolutely freezing. And usually I do like karate to keep myself warm between takes. But this time I had prosthetics on, so I couldn't do the karate. So I was just stuck to just like shivering. And someone took pity on me and gave me hand warmers. And I took one and just placed it against my genitals, which were so covered in sticky fake blood that it just stuck there. And then I was so cold that I forgot it was stuck there. And then we're about to roll on on one of the wide shots for the final pivotal scene. And the poor makeup guy, our makeup people were fantastic. They're Locked in the Cellar. So Brian from Locked in the Cellar is like, okay, let me come in, you know, pour some more of this ridiculously cold fake blood on you. And, oh, you've got something. So, yeah, and later he was like, yeah, you know, Michael, you are the only actor that I've ever had to pull a warmer out of sticky fake blood off of their genitals. And I was like, thank you. That's a laurel I wanted.
It's an accomplishment. That's something to be known for. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I mean, but yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I know you as you'll do these absurd roles. And you put yourself out. Like, if I think of an actor that puts themselves out there, it is you. I mean, I don't know if you're just super comfortable with who you are as a person, but I've never seen someone that's like mostly naked like in a sense of, yeah, you just walk every photo, everything you're shooting. I'm like, does he ever wear clothes? Like, who is this guy? So when you sent me footage of you in a turtleneck and pants, I'm like, he owns clothes? What is this?
Oh my God.
It was very confusing. I mean, you save on your wardrobe, right? So there's a benefit there.
People have seen my headshots and been like, who is this guy with a haircut wearing a shirt? That's not the Michael I know.
I know, you posted new headshots recently. I'm like, he needs that's not what he's known for. I'm very confused right now.
He's not naked or screaming. I don't understand.
Well, it's not screaming. It's internalizing getting shot. That's what we...
Right, yeah, sorry, internalizing.
The wild.
Right, that's my issue. But yeah, I mean, I'm still finishing this question from Michael, and then
I really enjoyed trying to cut you off and see if you'll go back. But ever the professional, you are not. You are staying on course. Keep going. This is test. It's a test.
It's a test. Okay, yeah. Aaron is auditioning. The Wild Masurkevitch as we speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just released a song because I was meditating in a forest and I was crying. I do that and it feels amazing. and I started singing to myself through my tears like I was a baby, because that's the emotional state of breakdown I was in. That I, and I started singing to myself like, I need to de-stress, I need to decompress. And then it just became this song that I wanted to give to people, so I paid money to a really good music producer to actually turn it into a song. So that just dropped. So that's exciting. It's, really going for cathartic. And I've got a music video for that drops in a week from yesterday, for which I was in Lake Huron in October, because I had these shots in mind where I'm drowning underwater as part of a metaphor. And Alan Murray, who's fantastic, came up with this like little Ziploc bag that you can touch a phone through. So he had his phone in a bag under the water filming me, and Tomo was there, and as well Tomo Nogi did the rest of the music video as well. And the thing is that we had scheduled a shoot for the summer, but then I had things, and I pushed it back. So then I was in Lake Huron in October for like 4 hours of shooting, and came out with actual hypothermia, and it was really cool. It was like my body was shaky and numb, and it was like I could feel things but differently, and like I could feel my brain being slower. Thank you very much, Michael. I hope so too. And yeah, so it was a really cool experience to get hypothermia. It feels like being cold is like a big part of my last year.
No one says it's cool getting hypothermia. You are such an artist right now. Like, yeah, I just wanted to experience that with my body and internalize it for another shoot should I need to go there, full method.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with getting hypothermia. I'm okay. I know I'm always cold. I can just figure that out during the day. You're fascinating.
Fair.
You're like, yeah, I wrote a song. I'm like, yeah, I feel things. I don't write songs. I don't.
You don't have to write songs to feel things. It's just, it's just my chosen way of exhibiting that. But yeah, I think that's most of it. I've got a short film that I wrote and produced called Prom of the Dead. That's going to be dropping soon. We're just finishing up post-production. It's a little zombie romantic comedy.
Classic zombie romance.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know what? Like,
zombies need
everyone
love too.
brings up Warm Bodies, and I'm just like, no, it's not like Warm Bodies. Like, every time I say, oh, zombie rom-com, oh, like Warm Bodies? No, and we couldn't afford Zac Efron either. But yeah, so that's coming out soon.
Or, you know what? You were too good for Zac Efron, right?
Yeah, because I wanted to play the Zac Efron role. So
yeah, you're the one that doesn't have a shirt on. Okay, Zac Efron comes in, he doesn't own clothes either. It's a competition and not fair.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's winning right now, but I'm going to catch up eventually, with
depends on what the competition is, okay?
My receding hairline.
Yeah.
Watch out, Zac Efron. This thing's coming for you.
He's jealous. He is trying to, like, shave it all off to match you. He's trying to, like, grow more body hair. He's working on it.
Oh, my God.
He's trying to become, like, a chia pet, right? So it's just all, I don't know why I did a pregnant belly, but maybe that's part of it. But that's
what chia pets are like.
Impregnates himself with hair. That's what's gonna happen. There you go.
I both love and am disturbed by the imagery of Zac Efron impregnating himself with hair. I don't know what that means.
The hair baby.
I
don't know either. This is it's getting weird. Not the
Hang on, guys. I've got a hair baby. Yeah, and I think that's it. I've got a political one, Fair Vote, that is going to hopefully make everybody in Canada support electoral reform and a better democracy.
Ooh,
so I'm going to be sharing the shite out of that in a few months. That'll be exciting. Can I swear on this, by the way, or should I avoid
so.
it?
I don't know. Sometimes I drop a couple choice words. Let's see what happens.
Nice. Good. Yeah. Fair enough. Please, #please don't cancel me. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. For now. I mean, who knows what's next?
That's pretty much it. Are you doing a bunch of stuff? Yeah, I guess that's it. COVID's really slowing down. So that's what happens, I guess. I'm only going to do 5 films in the past couple months. Not that big a deal. Whatever.
There's 2 things about me. One is that I'm very driven and I love what I do, and I push myself out of my comfort zone, and I don't say no to things a lot. But the other part of it is I'm really, really privileged. My parents are suburban Canadian middle class and allow me to live in their basement. And I'm not saying that I don't pay them money, but like they're a lot more flexible than they have to be with like, hey, I haven't booked a commercial or anything really high paying for like 6 months. Is that okay? So like so I've got really forgiving, supportive parents, and it means that I don't have to work a day job right now. Um, and that means that I can put a lot of time into this stuff. So, I mean, I love what I do, and I mean, I'm sure there are people who would make different choices and decide to have financial stability and live not in their parents' basement and stuff. But like, a big part of what I'm able to do is just literally the privilege of living in my parents' basement and having them be very supportive. That's huge for me.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky.
It
So
definitely
yeah.
helps. Yeah, having a supportive family like that. I love that. Shout out to your
Mm.
parents.
Shout out to M&D. Killing it. M&D. I
I
love
mean,
them.
that's, I don't know, I was trying to guess their names. I wish for some reason I really wanted you to be Michael Jr. I don't know why. Something about being a junior. It just always entertains me, especially when the person's like 60 and they're still, Michael Jr. And like, are you junior? You're
Yeah.
almost senior. I don't.
I'm Junior. Yeah. I mean, my middle name is Julian, named after my father, whose middle name is Julian, named after his father, whose first name was Julian,
Whoa.
named after his father, whose first name was Julian. It's this weird, like, Russian, Ukrainian line of outdoorsy woodsman hunters who named their firstborn sons Julian or with the middle name Julian.
I
And I
like
have a
Julian.
son,
I
and
didn't
his
know.
middle name is Julian.
Is that like a Jewish name though? It doesn't sound. Or is it more Russian, Ukrainian?
Um, Julian is,
I
how they would
don't.
say it.
Okay.
Okay, Julian, yeah. Anyway,
I have
that's
no
just,
idea how to drink this cup, by the way. It's very confusing, but I really liked it. So I put the
I
two
like,
fingers in. I just tend to hold it like this, and
but then it covers the R, which
I
is so
know.
cool because it's
I thank
Robin.
you. This is an indigo classic. I,
Mm,
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
nice.
Again, I'm not auditioning for an espresso anytime soon, so we're good. That's little tiny
Oh,
cups are
man.
confusing. Uh,
I love espresso. I also hate espresso. There's a
Thank you
story
for
that I
pronouncing
love.
it correctly. It's because if you
Yeah?
say espresso, oh, excommunicated from the coffee community. They are not
Oh,
a
wow.
forgiving bunch. I say that with absolutely no knowledge of them, but I feel as though they are not forgiving.
I feel like, yeah, the Starbucks like high-end boutique coffee community. I don't know if Starbucks is high-end boutique, but like Starbucks and high-end boutique, they're probably pretty judgy about how you say espresso. I had the best experience the first time I went into Starbucks. I
Ooh.
went in and I was just like, and this guy behind the counter was like, he looked like a young Jack Black, and he had a very similar energy. And I was just like, hey, I'd like something with coffee, but also chocolate. And he was like, we have that. It's called a mocha. It has coffee and chocolate. And I was like, wow, yeah, I'll take one of those. And he was like, yeah, you're not gonna regret this, man. You're not gonna regret this. And
Okay,
I
it
was
sounds
like,
like Jack Black as Batman. That is what you just did.
yeah, I meant to go more Jack Black. I went more Batman. These days I don't know why. I'm always doing Batman
It's
voice.
a great voice.
Like,
I didn't know you could do that. We're showing off your range. Give us
yeah,
another voice.
yeah,
There you go. Anyone watching this, guys, let's cast Michael. Let's do that. That's
right?
I think you have a
Hashtag,
problem, right? You're not booking enough, so you're only doing 5 films. So let's get the sixth. I might
I
have
mean, I
miscounted. If there's more, I apologize.
I will say though, like a lot of it is making my own work. So like,
Oh, so you're making your own, and you're not casting me, even though I casted you. Interesting. Hmm.
Robin, wait, hang on. But like a lot of it is like I've got a great agent. I love her. Before I had her, I had a different agent who was also great and who I also loved. I'm lucky. They put me out for things. Occasionally I book. It's very hard. It's a numbers game. But when I'm not swamped with other things, I'm writing. And if I'm not writing, I'm producing. Like Snowblind, the reason Snowblind the movie exists is partially because Brian Lockyer is a brilliant mad genius who wrote it and wanted to direct it and produce it, but it's also partially because I agreed to co-produce it, be the lead actor, provide the main location, and have worked insanely hard to make Snowblind a reality. The zombie thing, I wrote that, I produced that, I hired a friend of mine to direct it. He was great, but like I put a lot of work into that. The song, that was me paying money to have it made. The music video, that was me calling in a lot of favors and paying as little money as possible to have it made. So it's like, people see me doing a lot of stuff, and that's great, and I'm really happy, I'm really grateful, but there is a lot of it is kind of what you did with your web series of just like, when I'm not being cast in fancy high-paid roles, I'm still working because I am making things to work in. I'm making myself work. And that's, that's really fun, and I think that also is a very gradual process because, your first couple of things aren't going to be great, and you're going to work with people who, are also learning and getting better. Like the movie Snowblind, if you look at my acting, the acting of the other actors in it, the camera work, everything about the movie Snowblind has gotten better over the 3 years that we made Snowblind because we all were like training and doing other things in the meantime. So it's like you watch the first half of the movie and you're like, okay, this is decent. Then you get to the second half, you're like, oh, this is even better. Yeah, that's because that's year 2. Then you get to the end, which was year 3, and you're like, wow, this is really good. Because it took us 3 years to make it, and we got better through that process. So a lot of it is just learning and growing and hustling.
It's amazing, though. I love that. I love that so much. Because, again, the work's not, let's make work, let's put that time in. And you're right? People don't know how much work you're doing behind the scenes to make it happen. And it's a lot. And I commend you for that because it's not easy at all.
Thank you, Robyn.
It's really, I'm just like, this guy is doing so much, but again, it's a lot of work, right? And it is a full-time job in a sense. That's why I love that you're saying, again, your parents are super helpful, but you're also not just sitting there being like, when are these auditions coming in? You're writing your own stuff. You're making as many connections. You're just trying to reach out to people that will help you. And I'm really impressed with that.
Thank you, Robyn. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate all the work that you do to put into this and into your auditioning. You're also hustling, and I see it, and it's good. I like to see that.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, I did a weird.
I do want to bring up this mindset thing that was sort of coming up earlier.
Oh dear, we're going back to that. All right. See, I try and skip over things I don't like to address, but you're gonna make me tackle some demons here. Okay. All right.
Get
let's
ready.
Do it. Here we go.
Let's dive really deep. Yeah. So, and this is actually, this has been huge for me because, like we were saying, our business is feeling things. We feel things very deeply, but there's a difference between feeling things professionally versus feeling our own emotional trauma. That's different and much harder. So, right before the pandemic started, and once a year I will get to a point where I'm looking around and I'm not rich yet and I'm not famous yet and I haven't slept in days and I'm working on 14 things and I don't know if any of them are going to get more than 3 views on YouTube, and and I'm questioning whether I should quit and whether I should keep going, and and I'm ripping myself a new one after every audition. You know how this is. Yeah. And right. But then having these crises, I finally went through, this is kind of what the song is about. I finally started allowing myself to go through emotional breakdowns and to really feel all of my traumas. And, I grew up in a suburban home with very kind, polite parents. Relative to some people, I don't have a lot of trauma, and yet I still have trauma that needed processing. And, for a lot of my acting life, every time I would walk into an audition room, there'd be a part of my head going, oh, you better get this, you're garbage if you don't get it, this is paid, you'll never make money, ching-cha-ching-cha-ching-cha-ching. And then instead of being able to relax and enjoy myself and do a good performance, I'm in there being like, okay, don't let them see that I'm nervous, terrified, and hate myself. And that shows up on camera because you don't look like someone on camera who's feeling the feelings. You look like someone on camera who's trying to not show that they're desperate, alone, and hate themselves. So it really hurts your auditioning game. But then I would come out of that audition and be internally just screaming at myself, and all those issues would be even harder. And and then once a year I would have essentially a crisis breakdown of like, should I even continue? And then this pandemic gave me time to start doing more meditation, doing more yoga, and really leaning into my like deeper inner monologue. It's like there's inner monologue, and your inner monologue says, "Oh, you're a piece of shit." And you're like, "Okay, inner monologue, let's peel that back. Where's that coming from?" "Oh, well, this happened when you were a child." "Oh, what? I'm still okay. Let's deal with this." "Oh, I see that my child self is still feeling horrible about that time I stole a magnifying glass from preschool." Wow,
I knew it was you.
Were you there?
Oh, I just wanted to say that. I apologize.
But yeah, but but then you're peeling back the layers. You're asking your internal monologue, like instead of just being like, "Quiet, don't talk to me that way," you're saying, "Okay, this is a safe space. Why are you yelling at me for asking if they liked the name Robyn in an audition? Why are you screaming at me for this?" And then you dive down and you realize, oh, it's screaming at me because of this other issue, which hurt me in grade 12. Okay, and because of these things, but it hurt me in grade 12 because as a small child I experienced this, never really processed that, and then in grade 12 it totally flared. Yeah, and it's just like this loop. But then when you get to the end of that process, you get to a place where, you go into an audition, you come out, and your brain is like, blah, 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 and you're like, "Hey, haven't we dealt with those things?" "Yes." I love you. Are you okay?" "Yes." "What do you need?" "I want you to do better next time." "Okay, what's that going to take?" "Well, maybe spend more time on this and remember to do this." "Great. Thank you. Anything else?" "No, we're good." And it's so much happier and so much easier, and there's, when I remember to do this, it's a lot easier to perform well in an audition. It's a lot easier to not second guess myself every time I start a new project. It's a lot easier to focus on what I bring to people with what I make instead of what I hope to get in return and whether or not I will get it. Just makes everything better. So that's like, you've said some very nice things to me about how I'm comfortable putting myself out there and I'm comfortable in my own skin. And a lot of it used to be fake until I started doing this emotional work, and am now actually able to be confident in a real way, because I'm not pretending to be confident so that nobody sees my crippling insecurities. I've dealt with my crippling insecurities, and I can actually just be into this thing that I am. So that's been huge. That's been a really big part of being able to create better, being able to push myself, being able to be creative in quarantine instead of hiding in worry and self-pity, which I was initially, but obviously then this happened. So I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's been a really huge thing. And like if anyone is paying attention to us right now, if I can give anything to anyone, it's no matter what you're doing, even if you're an accountant, God, even if you're going into accounting, take that time for your emotions, take that time to really, ask your inner monologue why it's saying the things it's saying, and follow those rabbit holes and give some love and acceptance to things that are way deeper down than you usually think about, because it will really help all facets of your life, especially art. Like now when I want to summon an emotion, like I've spent a lot of time processing anger that I didn't used to know that I have. So now if I have a scene where I need to be angry, it's not hard. Spend a lot of time with my anger. I can just, hey, issues, remember we talked last week? Yeah, can you just I just need you back for like 10 minutes. Boom. Cool. Thanks, guys. Love you. Talk soon. Like, it's great. It's actually really helped my acting and all that. Yeah, it's been good. It's been
For
I'm
sure.
very grateful for all that. Anyway, that was my soapbox.
No, that was
my
great.
soapbox.
But everything
Yeah.
you said, I'm just nodding. And also, there was a bit of a lag, so I didn't want to interrupt you because I don't know how bad the internet connection was. So I was just listening, but also very worried for the internet. So that was my inner monologue. I'm like, he's saying great advice. Please stop. Like, just work Instagram Live. So I send out prayers while also taking in what you were saying. And
That is
it was
amazing.
really, again, it was great to say though. And I think the more we discuss that as people, not just the acting industry, the more we're able to realize it's okay to internalize and have feelings, and the more acceptable it is in a society, I think the better. I never know how to phrase that. I remember I was doing a class a couple weeks ago, and I wrote this actor's manifesto. I've never written one in my life. I had no idea what it was.
Ooh.
I know,
Okay.
it was such a weird process. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be open. I'm going to try it. I wrote it, and then I kept changing it during the class because everyone was very open with their emotions. I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I'll write some more stuff. Here's some more honesty, whatever. And I hadn't practiced saying it. So then I just started saying it, and then I just broke down. I'm like, oh my God, did I write this? And I was just so honest in it. And I'm like, I never say this to anyone. So it was such a weird attempt at being vulnerable in front of people I've never really met before. And I thought, oh, I guess I should figure out how to do this more so I can actually use this when I'm filming those scenes that I hate doing. It was such but also everyone was so supportive. I'm like, what's going on? We're supporting this? I'm breaking down. This is weird. It was weird. That was, but in a good way, but also in a terrifying way of like, I didn't know where those emotions are coming from. I need to deal with this. I'm gonna turn off my video now. It was weird.
That's amazing. That is actually amazing. That congratulations on experiencing that. That's really great.
Honestly, for me, I hate, like, anytime I get a scene where it says you have to cry, I'm like, no, not booking it. No, thank you. I am not okay with crying. So I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I should probably not do that because there's a lot of crying roles that I need to work on. So,
Well, yeah, and I think the other thing is that, like, feeling uncomfortable things is uncomfortable.
Oh,
you know, whether it's for the camera or real life. But but if you can do what you've done just with that, and and realize that it's okay, you can feel those things and still be safe and still be okay on the other side. As soon as you realize that, it makes it a lot easier to process your emotions and to act in really tough emotional scenes, because you can go, yes, I'm going to break down as a human for the next 5 minutes, and yes, on the other side, I will be okay. In fact, probably better than you've ever been, right? Like, it's a very healthy feeling.
I appreciate you saying that. I'm also, okay, I'm going to do a sidebar real quick. I'm so intrigued. Are you near a kitchen? Because I hear stuff happening, and I want to know if someone's washing a dish or something. I'm getting, again, this is just me wondering. No need to tell me. I'm just curious. Like,
that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember me talking about my super tolerant parents who allow me to live in their basement and are very supportive and kind?
I do.
They're just
saw this. Yeah. Okay.
They're just trying to live their lives around me right now, moving around the large piece of cardboard that I have bouncing my light in their kitchen. This is their lives.
Oh my God.
You know, like, hello from Robyn.
We've never
She's
met.
An actor.
Shabbat shalom.
They say hello, and they hope that I'm being respectful and kind to you.
Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah.
I'm doing great, Mom.
You've raised him really well. Grandmother Jewish. That is what happened.
My mom wants me to say that I do actually pay for stuff. I shouldn't sound like too much of a charity case.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you,
I know,
Mom.
Honestly, I was going to hold them accountable, so I'm glad that you clarified, because I was going to have a whole discussion. Not okay. Good. Make him pay for everything. Make him, make him pay for the mortgage. Let's just make you more accountable. That's what this is.
You need to be a man.
Hey.
Well, and going back to there's two things. Oh, my dad is hilarious. I said, you need to be a man, and he's up there like, yeah, yeah. Uh, but, you know, like, there's two things that this makes me want to say. The first is, you know, them living with me, like, most of this winter, I would come home from a shoot of snowblind just, you know, covered in fake blood, and I'd walk in the door exhausted, holding things, covered in red, and they would just look up and be like, oh, hey, you should probably shower sooner this time, because last time it took you 2 hours to get in the shower, and we were really tired of seeing you look like you died. So, you know, it's just like, oh, yeah, there he is, you know. I'm out on the street doing Tai Chi with baseball bats, and they just look at me just like, do the dishes when you come in, like, and then nobody, it's just a thing, you know?
When I see you post this absurd stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's Michael. There you go. That's
right.
Do you ever go by Mike?
Okay.
Are you only Michael?
I go by Mike. I feel more tied to Michael, but like Mike is like
serious actor, Michael.
Yes, Michael Masurkevitch. Right?
Of course. The one and only Michael.
I think it's also just kind of my upbringing, you know, like my parents are like proper Eastern Europeans who speak with excellent diction. And, you know, to go by Mike in a household like this would be ridiculous. You know,
so,
Mike,
okay, to clarify, you said you were
CHATS.
Russian, Ukrainian, and now you're doing a British accent. So I'm just a little confused, like slightly, but.
Yeah. I have a lot of things that I like to tell myself about my self-perception. You know, like on my mom's side, right? Very small part, Romani. You know, gypsy, if we're allowed to use that word.
That's cool.
We're not. So very small part
okay.
Romani. But also, you know, like my mom's dad's family was part of the Romanian landed gentry. So I really like to think of, you know, whenever I'm doing a role of someone who's kind of like hoity-toity or rich or a nobleman, I really like to just lean into that and be like, yes, well, you know, my family was part of the landed gentry and all that. So, you know. Versus like when I want to be rugged, I'm just like, yeah, my dad's family were like hunters in the wild. Totally feel that, man. But yeah, but all of these things are just little bits that I say to myself for fun. I don't know if they actually are reality or just this reality that I've created for myself. It's a fun reality, though.
There you go. That's acting in and of itself. You have your own reality. I love these characters. I would cast any of them. Guys, this guy is versatile, am I right? Let's
Robyn, can I ask you a question?
Oh, what kind of maybe. I don't know. I don't like to say yes to anything anymore. Yes, Michael. What is your question?
Nice, thank you. I appreciate that. That seemed difficult, and I appreciate it.
What would you like to know?
Robyn, when you were a child, were there any strange activities, flights of fancy, things that you did that suggested you had less of a connection to reality than the average child?
Oh, dear. Well, if I'm being brutally honest, probably. I would say, I know. I'm wondering that. I don't know. I just did. That's such an interesting question.
Yeah.
I think I did a lot of theater and performing. I don't know if I feel as though you have a better answer for this than I do. I don't know if I've connected with my inner child as much as you have in terms of going back that far. I don't know.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, one thing for sure is that people are like, Michael, you seem like you're a happy person. Yeah, I mean, the last year I've spent a lot of time having mental breakdowns and processing my feelings. That makes you happy, you know? But yeah, so like I've spent a lot of time thinking about this because I have a theory. And it's like when I was a child, like I would spend a lot of time doing imaginary characters and making up imaginary games and living in my own head. But I've also just never been that grounded in reality. Like sometimes I'll do something and people will be like, were you aware that in real life, blah, blah, blah? And I'll be like, oh, what? No, I wasn't. You know, like I remember my best friend Rory loves to tell this story of I was at his house at the age of like 8, and we were at the dinner table, and his parents were like, "Well, Michael, how are you?" And I started telling this story about this dream that I had, and pretty soon the dream had like this crazy, crazy stuff. And pretty soon, and by the end of the conversation, they were going, at what point did we leave the realm of his actual dream and head into this weird flight of fancy? Or did he actually dream all this? In which case, has he seen a child psychologist? The answer is yes on several occasions. Those are great stories. But, so it's like, so, it's like I feel like growing up, I had a very weird relationship with real life and a limited, tenuous at best hold on what is reality. And it has made my life challenging in many ways, but I think it's also been great for creation, because when it's time to I'm writing this screenplay, so now I need to live in this world, that's not that hard for me because I'm already barely living in reality as it is. So it's great.
For sure.
Anyway, I just wanted to tell that story,
I love that story. Again, I'm thinking back to, so I'm the oldest of four, and
yeah.
I think I was always an adult as a child. I always joke about that. I was talking to a friend the other day how I like doing film when it's, these are the high school proms and this is what it's like going clubbing, because that's not how I was and that's not what it was like for me. So to be able to act like that is so cool for me. So oh yeah, this is how normal people act in a club, versus guys, excuse me, are we hydrating? Hello, adults here, just not understanding. Guys, why are we being so cliquey? This is not okay. Let's be adults and have a discussion. I'm this adult in the body of a 15-year-old. It's just, so I don't know if I was ever a kid. I think I've always been an adult. So
wow.
That's why I'm getting cast as the mom quite a bit. That's fair.
That's how you roll.
Yeah, that is how I roll. So that's why when you're saying, I think I've lived too much in reality, where I'm like, guys, you guys are being silly and childish, and let's grow up.
Amazing.
Is it though? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, if we had time, I don't know if we do, I kind of want to dive into why child Robyn felt she had to step up into this adult role, if she missed out on some fun, and is there going to be a glorious reawakening as Robyn rediscovers being a child and being just absolutely silly, and all of your I don't know if you're my age. Are you my age? You're younger than me, right? Okay.
Should I say, I've learned that you shouldn't say your age as a woman. I want people to assume I'm a certain age. My husband joked on another live that I was 45. That was not funny, Mike. But it's fine. I actually didn't care. I thought that was kind of funny. But
okay, good.
yeah, I'm no, we're cool. We're cool. Whatever. We're stuck here, so we're cool.
What I'm excited for is your however same age as you friends. 5 years from now, when you're in your, I don't know, early 20s, whatever. You're out clubbing with your grown-up friends, and you're just reliving.
How old do you think I am?
I don't actually think you're 19.
What? Okay. Thank you, though.
Just trying to be complimentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to go club. I was joking. I was chatting with someone. She's, how old is she? Oh, God, I don't know, late teens. And I said, I will go clubbing with you because I think now I'm ready. At this age, I don't care. I'm 31. So at this age of 31, I am now ready to be a teenager.
Yeah, I am so excited for you, for COVID to break and you go to a club with your 30-year-old friends and they're sipping wine what is Robyn doing? And you're dancing on tables oh, this is what I missed. Yes. I can't wait. Yeah, can I come with you guys? I just want to witness you unlocking your inner
I'm just I'm the person that doesn't drink because I think everyone's gonna drug my drink. I'm in a weird headspace there. Because I just don't trust anyone. Guys,
you ever
everyone's gonna kill me.
Pour your own drink?
No, well, I'm gonna go behind the bar and just pour my own drink. Also,
no, right? Yeah. Okay, fair, right, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Good. Look, I watch everything, and everyone can kill you. That's so this. If anyone wants someone super paranoid, hi. When I get those calls, I'm this is not an audition. This is my life. I can do this. I remember getting the one thing I booked during COVID was depressed woman. I'm here you go. Not even trying. Sense. I'm awesome.
Amazing.
is it?
Well,
But
yeah, you know, I think like when we're acting, you know, we have to translate us into this situation where that's what we are, and the closer it is to us, the easier it is. Like I book a lot of sad, whiny, emotional white dudes, you know, because that's kind of my thing. Yeah, I'm a sad dude. Like I book that a lot because I'm kind of sad.
yeah, I
So
don't really
yeah, I
have to
think
try.
that's
I kind of
perfect.
just go in, and that's me being myself. Like, hey,
Right?
what's up? Sad. Cool. Bye. Okay.
Yeah. Hey guys, I know you said this was an audition, but I'm actually just here to live in my usual issues. So thanks.
Yeah, guys, I read the script, and I'm pretty sure it's a biography. So,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Suddenly you're just like going off books, screaming, throwing things. The director's like, wow, she's really into this, man. Like she's really into this. I don't think this is about the script anymore. Yeah, but she's good though, man.
Oh my
Bring her in. I think that's great. I
I
say
don't
go.
remember I'm laughing so hard on an Instagram live before. Oh, you're funny. Oh my god. Can I
You are
tell you,
also
I don't
funny.
want to forget mentioning this. So I don't know if his name's Daryl. He works at Mandy.com. I can't remember his last name right now.
Hmm.
But he messaged
Yeah.
me. He was so excited that I was chatting with you, and he said, "Oh shit, it's an hour." Sorry, I have mic. And he's like, "Yes, I remember him from the shark commercial, and apparently you did another pizza commercial." And I need to ask how you auditioned for that shark commercial, because you're wearing a shark outfit. How do you own that costume? Because I actually thought you owned it, and you went to the audition like that. That is what I pictured.
I mean, that would have been a boss move. That would have been a boss move. No, they had the shark hat. They didn't have the full outfit. They just had like a shark headpiece that we wore in the audition. Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, Daryl led
So,
one.
did
Great
you get
dude. Love you,
lice?
Daryl.
I'm just saying, like, what happens?
Dude.
Everyone's sharing it. Someone could have lice, and you didn't consider
Yeah.
that. Okay, chat with me next time. I'll make you realize everything that's wrong with like if you're going to eat food and it's been out there for 8 hours and then you have to eat it and it's disgusting. I don't really tend to book food commercials very well.
That is fair. That is fair. See, that's something where I'm really happy that I've grown up with this like outdoorsy camping side.
Oh
Because,
yeah,
you know, when
you can book anything.
you're out in the woods, you've got 2 hamburgers, you drop one, well, it's camping spice. Like, that's it. So, like,
Yeah,
oh, that food's
nature
been
is
sitting out for
scary.
8 hours? Okay, I'll just pretend.
Okay, I had a thought. We will chat later about this. We will shoot something in the woods. You're surviving, and I'm not understanding what to do. I think there's something to this. I don't know yet. I will develop it. But some kind of sketch
good.
of sorts. Outdoors meets indoors. I don't know where I want to do with this. There's just something
Let's-
ridiculously entertaining about this idea. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a really fun dynamic with me being like, yeah, you know, we're just out here surviving, and you're like, oh my God, don't eat that.
Pretty much. Yeah, I think there
I
is.
like it.
I do like this. This is, oh, cool. We have a camera person. That was the easiest thing I've ever cast. Cool.
Yes. Oh my God, there's still comments coming in. Aaron, yeah, you're in,
doing pretty
man.
well.
I love
Yeah.
it. Hashtag everything can kill you.
Thank you,
Fair.
Clement. Clement gets me.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Actors are speedsters, time travelers. We travel between realities for work. Clement, yes. That's fantastic. I
Don't
love
need
that.
everything. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I've kept you on for like an hour. Oh, thank you. See, Carol would watch that. We're gonna make it for Carol. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's do like final words, unless there's anything else you'd like to discuss, because I got carried away. Also, I commend you. I kept interrupting you, and you kept going back on track, and that was impressive. You are not derailed easily. I really tried to not discuss mindset, but you pushed through, and well done. I'll do that clip. That was well said. I appreciated that.
Thank you, Robyn. I really appreciate you holding space for that and being such a good listener. Thank you. Yeah, this is really great. This is a great time. Final words. First of all, please, everybody, follow me on Instagram because I'm desperate. Listen to my song because I've spent the last like week constantly emailing magazines with no response, desperately trying to get it featured. it's a lot of work to get things actually listened to. So if anyone wants to like follow me or something, I would be like super, super appreciative.
So
So
follow
I'm just
you
gonna
on Instagram. You on Facebook? Do you on YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel to subscribe to? What are we feeling?
Instagram and Facebook are the big ones.
Okay.
I mean, the song is on like Spotify and iTunes and stuff, and I have stuff on YouTube, but it's typically posted. Although I do have this, you are also desperate. Thank you. Desperate together. I'm in. Yeah, I
This
do.
way?
I
Is it
have
this
this
way?
YouTube channel called Canadian Love, where I interview people. I've got a couple of short films on there.
Yeah,
I think
nice.
we're at like 95 subscribers after like a year of releasing 2 videos a week, which was an insane amount of work. So again, it's very hard to get people to actually consume the products that you make unless you're already famous. But how do you get there, you know? So yeah, so I'm desperate. Please, everybody, check that out. But yeah, other than that, Robyn, thank you. This has been great. You're a great listener. Thanks for having people on and listening to them.
Oh,
That's really powerful. And good times. Anybody watching this, you're amazing. I see a lot of people I really like on this chat. Thanks for, hey, how are you? Miss you. I don't know. That's it. I'm not even drunk, I swear.
no, there's not much more to say. That's fair. I usually end in an awkward way, but now I'm trying to give people a final words component. So you said all that had to be
I like
said.
it, yeah.
I really appreciate time. I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Thank you, Robyn.
Also,
I'm
it's
grateful for
getting
this as
weird
well.
now.
Good
The
times.
internet's getting iffy. So, oh no. I think I lagged. Dear God, we were doing so well. And now I don't know if you're just going full method and internalizing an internet lag. Oh no. Did we end?
I'm just
Okay,
like,
I don't know what's happening. I don't know if
I'm
you're
like,
messing with my head, but all right. So that was a fun way to end this. We're gonna say goodbye. Okay.
farewell. Robyn, be
Oh,
good to
cool.
yourself. Everyone listening, be good to yourself. Have a great Friday.
Love that. Bye.